In this video, I discuss whether you need to pay into Social Security to receive Social Security. Coming up next on Holy Schmidt.
Holy Schmidt!
There's a lot of chat in the comment section here on Holy Schmidt about people who receive Social Security for free. Some of the comments are supportive, others not so supportive, others very unsupportive of the concept of someone receiving Social Security without paying anything into Social Security. Before we begin, please make sure you click subscribe and notifications so that you get alerted the next time I post a video. I work very hard to get what's out there in here so you have all of the updated information on Social Security. Now let's get into it. In order to understand what I'm going to show you next, you need to understand just a few basic concepts about the structure of Social Security and also something called the special minimum primary insurance amount. First, there are three things that determine the size of someone's Social Security payment: how much they earned on average over their lifetime, how long they worked, and when they took Social Security after they qualified for Social Security. First, let's talk about your earnings. The SSA will take your lifetime earnings and average them and index them in today's dollars, and this is what's called your average annual earnings. This is one component of the three that determine the size of your Social Security payment. That number can only be determined by understanding how many years you worked. The SSA will take your best 35 years of earnings and divide that by 35. If you don't have 35 years, the SSA will give you 0 for the years that you don't have earnings. Too many zeros and your payments start to go down. You put those two together and you have your average annual indexed monthly earnings. The next point is something called bin points. Basically, the SSA will give you more Social Security credit for your lower dollars than they do for your higher dollars in terms of your earnings. In 2021, a Social Security recipient will receive 90% of their first $996 of average indexed monthly earnings at full retirement age. They'll receive 32% of the amount between $997 and $6,002. And they'll receive 15% of any amount over $6,002 of average indexed monthly earnings. So it's like taxes. You pay more and more as you earn more, but the benefit doesn't follow the amount of taxes paid. By the way, if you're watching this video in 2022, 23, or 2030, it doesn't matter what the actual bin point numbers are. You can look those up on the internet. The important point here is to understand the concept of bin points, because this is very important to what I'm going to say next. So for those not getting something called a special minimum primary insurance amount, something we haven't talked about yet, your Social Security payment is based loosely on the amount of money that you earned per year over your lifetime. There's also something called the special minimum primary insurance amount. This is a very small number. It's set at 50% below, in fact, lower than 50% below the federal poverty line. The special minimum primary insurance amount means that no matter how little you earn per year, you will get a minimum amount. In the case of the 2021 number, this is $829 per month. And this is the point of confusion and the source of some not nice comments about people receiving Social Security even though they don't deserve to receive Social Security. But there's one point that most people miss, and that is the special minimum primary insurance amount is there to cover people who worked but didn't earn very much, basically unskilled labor. It's not there as a gift for people that didn't work at all. The reason is there's something called the 30-year rule. And that rule basically says that you get the $829 per month if you've worked for 30 years in the United States, no matter how much you earned, but you had to work for the 30 years. For every year that you work less than 30 years, the benefit is reduced. If, for example, someone arrived in the United States in 2010 and retired in 2021, their special minimum payment would go from $829 per month down to $39 per month. And just so we're crystal clear, there's one final point called earnings credits. And basically this means that you have to earn a minimum of 40 credits in order to qualify for Social Security. Each credit is 1/4 year's work, which means that if you don't work and contribute to Social Security for a minimum of 10 years, you don't qualify at all. So when someone steals a Social Security number and they use that Social Security number, they're doing it to get a job. They're not doing it to get access to Social Security. Ironically, if they do that, it actually builds the foundation of Social Security because they're contributing and they can't collect it later. If you like this video and you want to see more of me, please make sure you click subscribe notifications so that you get alerted the next time I post a video. I post about twice a week. Also, check out this video right here on the average net worth of a 62-year-old. This is Jeff Schmidt. Thanks for watching.